What do you feel like Siakam was able to do, especially be effective in that first half?
Well, he was really getting it to some. I really liked his assertiveness when he got the ball. It wasn't a whole lot of dribbling into places. He was kind of on the move. You know, as soon as we passed it to him, he was on the move to try to get to where he wanted to go, and he got, I thought, to some really basic stuff. You know, just, you know, hard move into the paint, little jump hook, you know, that kind of stuff, and kind of over and over. I thought he just got it quickly. I liked it because I didn't think he was using a lot of dribbles to get to where he was going. So that was probably the big thing, and he also, you know, stepped in and took a couple threes there and hit them as well in the first half, so that was good.
Christian had some strong contests around the rim, but also got out and closed out in the perimeter a bunch. When you project forward to look at his defensive upside, is that the sort of thing that gets you excited the inside out?
Yeah, I mean, he's got some defensive skills for sure. I just like that when he, you know, I thought he played with really good energy for a pretty extended period tonight. He hasn't been playing a lot of long stretches or been able to either, so I thought he played with good energy. I thought he just kept, again, the whole team was pursuing the ball really well, and he was one of them, right? They just weren't giving up on anything, you know, even when something bad was happening. We were trying to get back to a contest or pursue it from behind or get out to the shooters. There wasn't a whole lot of, you know, threes by them that we just didn't get to with a hard challenge, and he was part of that as well.
You coached a team a few years ago where the winning development scale sort of flipped, similar to Detroit. What was that like, or what is that like?
Well, I don't know. I think that winning is a part of development. You know, I think even in my years in the minor league and the NBA Development League, teams would say, oh, you know, it doesn't matter if we're winning. We're trying to develop players here, but teaching players how to win is part of development. So I think it's always difficult when you're not winning. It's not any fun, right? It's hard to teach. It's hard to develop anything, to be honest with you.
I know you love being asked about players' minutes. I'm just wondering why you kept Pascal in as well.
Well, I tried to get him out. It was one of those games again. I even said that to my assistants. I said, we're in one of these stretches again where the whistle's just not going to blow. I had a substitute up there for him at the 6-minute mark or something, and just kept on going. I was getting ready to take a timeout the next time we got the ball, and then we stole it and went on for a fast break. So, yeah, I was trying to get him out of there, Lindsay. Sorry about that.
What more do you think? We know that management's have to make a decision on Jeff probably the next 10 days or so. What do you like about his play?
Well, I think that he's a really good defender first and foremost. Doug, he's really done a solid job, and even tonight I switched the rotation because they were running Ivy the whole quarter in the third, and he went out there to guard him, and that is the biggest thing. But the other thing is I can't really remember a time he's not played pretty well for us, right? He's able to make a bucket. He's able to, shot clock's running down, to get a shot up and score some of those mid-rangers. He's an adequate three-point shooter. He knows how to play. Yeah.
Like he's starting to understand his spots a bit better offensively?
Who? Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's always understood him. He knows how to play.
That's just like the age, a little bit older for a guy at kind of his stage of development, and the fact that he's been around a little bit.
Well, he's played a lot in minutes in the G League, right? So he's got most of his experience there, and he was, you know, that whole season last year, he might have been one of the best point guards in the league, right? And he certainly played good for our guys this year too.
In your time coaching in the G League, D League to now, what do you think translates easiest from that game to this game?
Well, the toughest part is usually the scoring, right? Because I know you asked me what was easiest, but the toughest part's usually the scoring, just because of the size differential. You know, there's usually a lot more rim protection here, and that was one of the things that I used to notice. I had about, I don't want to over-exaggerate here, but I must have had 4 centers get called up that we used to just pump the ball in, and they'd score 28 a game, and they'd get called up, and they couldn't get a bucket in the NBA, right? Or not too many. right? So there's that. That's the biggest. And even guards can drive a lot more and finish at the rim and stuff like that. The guys that make the easiest transition understand that they're probably in some kind of role, right? What is their skill that they can do to go up and play a role for an NBA team? Can they guard? Right? Can they knock down open threes? Can they run a team? That is what has to translate really for most of them. Yeah.
Solid night from Boucher. What type of layer does he add to your team, especially coming off the bench?
Well, he's best. We're best when he's just flying around, right? It's a little wild sometimes. It's fun to watch, right? He's blocking shots. He's trying to dunk everything. He's hoisting up threes, totally guarded, all those kind of things, and just making lots of energy plays. He's on the glass. He's tipping balls and stuff, and that's big, because that I think is contagious and translates to other players.
All right, OG, what did you see out there tonight?
We played hard, we competed, we moved the ball, got stops on defense, just got on transition, and then Pascal had a great game. Chris played it great. Christian played great. Jeff played great. Just a lot of guys played great tonight.
How important is that going into Washington?
Oh, definitely very important. We want to keep it going. The more guys playing great, the better. Just continue it. Just keep trying to win games. Thank you guys.
After last game, how important was it for you guys to play as close to a full 48 as you did?
Obviously we weren't proud about the game before. Want to bring more physicality. I think we did a really good job just staying in front of them and making it hard for them every shot they had, protecting the paint a lot better. Obviously we're trying our best to win every game, so it definitely feels good to come out and play like that today.
Between the reps that Christian has gotten up here this year and with the 905, how much of a difference do you notice in his game, especially on the defensive end?
He's getting there. He's definitely getting there. Obviously, the more reps he gets, the better he's gonna get. But this kid is, he's really special. He could do a lot of different things. I like how he's trying to learn every time. Obviously he's like a sponge. Everything that we tell him, he's listening. You can see that he's not afraid to go protect the rim, even though he's late or not. And that's just amazing qualities that he has, and that's gonna make him better every game that he gets out there.
What do you look to provide for this team, especially coming off the bench?
Energy, obviously, and wherever we're missing, clearly, I've been trying to get better every time. I want to be more efficient, clearly. Obviously, when you have so many guys that can score the ball and all that, your chances are a little bit lower, but I want to be efficient in the shots that I got, and if we need rebounds, shot blocking, or whatever energy that we need, that's my job.
How would you evaluate your performance tonight?
So what?
How would you evaluate your performance tonight?
Could get better. I think there's a lot of things that I could have done. Obviously, when I look at the tape, I'm gonna get better, but I feel like I could have been in the lane a lot more. But obviously, it's the beginning, and it's a good thing. I think I played an okay game.
When teams play with two bigs like this for most of the night, do you feel like you have a quickness advantage, and how do you try to use it?
Yeah, obviously, I feel like, like the 6'9" thing that we're trying to do, obviously it works a lot better when we play against two bigs. We can switch 1-2-5. We could be disruptive, rebounding, blocking shots. It's always a good opportunity for us to play better when we have two bigs and we could just box them out and try to get out there and run the floor.
I asked Nick Nurse about what was most difficult about transitioning from the G League to the NBA, and he mentioned scoring was toughest. As one of the better scoring bigs off the bench in the NBA and having the history you do in the G League, what was that like trying to transition that aspect of your game?
I think it was just the speed of the game. Obviously, in the G League, you're probably the main guy. You could really take go at your own pace and score whenever at will, but when you start going to the NBA, you got guys like Fred, OG, and the ball keeps moving left to right. You got to be at the right place, right time, and you don't get that much time to make a basket. So I think that's one thing that was definitely took some time for me. Knowing when to take your shot. Obviously I was jacking a lot before, a lot more than I am now. So it's just things like that you gotta learn with time. But we got good leaders, and they usually tell you when it's a good shot and when it's not.
Yeah, Pistons are a team that kind of had the Raptors number historically for the past couple of seasons for whatever reason, and obviously you guys have been able to kind of turn the tide there. You know, was there anything mental you think that's kind of changed this season to be able to pick up those wins?
I don't know. I feel like every time we played the Pistons, we were coming from a bad loss and we were trying to get, you know, a win. And I mean, they got the bad timing because like we just lost to the Pistons and we all wanted to get a win, and we played the Pistons after that. So I definitely know that they're coming for us, and you know, we playing a lot more physical when we play them.
Thanks, Chris.
You want letter French up?
French. Quelques questions.
Just for you, Mike.
Je voulais savoir, on a beaucoup parlé ces derniers temps des petits problèmes pour terminer les matchs, mais à quel point c'est important de bien commencer?
Mais tu peux le voir comme au troisième quart, ils ont fait un petit run, puis c'est contre des équipes qui sont vraiment bonnes, on va dire comme Boston, et des équipes comme ça, ça peut vraiment nous causer une game. Alors c'est important pour nous de garder la cadence qu'on a. Aussi, je pense qu'on fait beaucoup de travail au début et à la fin, et si on est capable de mettre 4 quarts comme ça, on pourrait gagner chaque game.
C'est important aussi le retour des vestiaires, le début de troisième quart-temps.
Ouais. Oui, ça c'est le plus important. Je pense qu'on a encore des problèmes avec ça. Revenant du troisième quart, on est un peu lent, mais ça peut s'ajuster. Comme j'ai dit, on a bien fini, c'est ça le plus important.
Et, ces derniers temps, tu as beaucoup parlé du fait d'apporter de l'énergie. J'imagine que si vous aviez la réponse, vous amèneriez l'énergie à chaque fois, mais pour toi, est-ce que tu as une explication sur le fait que sur certains matchs, on a l'impression que c'est pas là?
Tous les games sont différents. Je pense que les minutes, des fois, sont différentes. Des fois, le ballon va juste pas, te trouve juste pas, ou des fois, c'est juste des mauvaises situations parce que l'équipe il rentre 3 points de suite, c'est 9-0, puis là, tu peux pas vraiment mettre d'énergie sur ça. Alors, les games sont différents, mais je pense que je commence à trouver des moyens où est-ce que je peux plus un problème en défense, puis ça va arrêter les runs.
Merci.
Jeff, great game tonight. Obviously, you added a bit of a spark off the bench. What did you see?
I think we picked up a lot on the defensive end. You know, we're active in gaps, getting steals, deflections, blocking shots at the rim, and I think that translated to the offensive end. Guys just played with a lot of energy tonight.
And then in terms of just, you know, how this can carry over to Washington, like what do you guys need to do that worked here that, you know, we need to potentially use in Washington as well?
Just keep playing consistently, like I said, on the defensive end, you know, getting stops, playing with a lot of energy, playing with a lot of aggressiveness. I think that translates a lot to our offense, being able to get on fast breaks a lot, push the pace, and I think we just keep having to be consistent and bring that into the next game.
In terms of your own situation, in terms of contract and just like the next kind of games up ahead, do you feel any pressure at all?
No, definitely no pressure. It's just basketball at the end of the day. You know, whenever I get minutes opportunity, just continue to play my game, continue to be a pest on defense, keep making plays on the defensive end, you know, give these guys breaks and just do whatever I have to do to help these guys win.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
What do you feel like you were able to do, especially in that first half, to be as effective as you were?
Just being aggressive, taking whatever the defense gives me, and yeah, just being aggressive.
Anything different than other games? Like, what type of looks do you feel like Detroit was giving you?
No, just like I said, like I feel like I always have an advantage, so it's just a matter of, you know, if there's help or not, and just taking the shots that's there.
What were the holes that you saw in their defense that you felt like allowed you to be able to have that kind of game?
No, I don't know. I mean, I think it was some one-on-one, so I mean that always helps. Yeah, just we played with a little bit of pace, and we were just kind of like running.
What are the differences you maybe see in Koloko now versus the start of the season?
I think again he has, you know, a lot to learn, but obviously we know the length is there. Some of those things that you can't teach, like, it's there. It's just a matter of continue to work, continue to get stronger. Just kind of like follow the game plan. Try not to make a play on the ball every time. Trust your length and things like that. I think he's doing those things a little bit better than the beginning of the year. And I mean, it's just going to take him some games. Like, it's hard, you know, coming, you know, from that to the NBA and having NBA minutes, like, it's tough. So it's going to take him some adjusting. But he wants to learn. He listens, and I think he's going to continue to get better.
How do you find his communication on the floor when he's out there?
I think it's good. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. He's probably gonna continue to get better at that. Just talking. I mean, it's all of us basically. Like we gotta communicate more as a group. Because it feels like just the character of people that we have is just like, you know, they kind of like just go about their business, you know. But as an anchor of that defense, you know, he's got to continue to get better, like just talking and things like that. But nah, he's doing good.
How did you see Jeff impact the game today?
I think he did good, just sticking within, you know, whatever he's good at. He can, you know, play defense, try to pressure those guards out there, making the right plays, trying to put everyone in position, and yeah, just keeping it simple.
Since you've been here, the team has been a contender either for the championship or the playoffs. When Dwayne was here, then with Nick. Have you ever thought about what it would be like on a team like Detroit or a rebuilding team, how the challenges that would bring?
No, I didn't think about that.
Pascal, your spin move has kind of been your signature part of your game for a number of years now. What's you know, been so important to kind of stick to it over the years, and you know, it seemed pretty effective tonight. You know, how many hours of development do you think have kind of gone into that, being able to nail them?
Yeah, it's in the blood. It just happens. It just happens, man. I can't explain it. It just happens. I feel like naturally, it just happens.
Dwayne Casey was saying that you should make the All-NBA team. Earlier, he was saying that he didn't know how you did make the All-Star team the first time. What does it mean to you to still have his support, even though you know he's?
Yeah, nah, for sure. I appreciate it for sure. Obviously, him being here, you know, like he was here when you know we were little kids, you know. So just seeing us grow, and I think that he's always, like I said, always gonna have a like high regards in this organization and you know the fans and everyone, and I think also us two players just for what he's built, you know, in this organization, and when we came in like as rookies, you know, me, Fred, Jakob, like, you know, it was always about winning, and they built that culture, and he's a huge part of that. So yeah, it means a lot, and I appreciate it for sure.
How did that help you when you were young, like in particular with that culture, the way he was doing stuff?
No, I think it's just everything, like the organization, like everything that was done. Like it was just, you know, like you knew that it's about, you know, everyone having their roles. It's about coming in, playing, you know, focusing on defense, focusing on winning. You know, collective basketball, like just like, you know, every day coming in, getting your work in. I mean, like we saw the Kyles, DeMar, like all those guys do it, and you know, yeah, like they just had, you know, they had it going, and they were serious about their work, and you know, coming in as a young player, like having that, like it's a win, you know, like just knowing that it's not always like that everywhere. So to have that was really special for us.
Pascal, sorry if you spoke to this already, but another thing Dwayne said was you guys were like a machine in the first quarter, the way the offense was going. How important was it to kind of come out and set that aggressive tone early?
I think, again, like, we got to just continue to be aggressive. I think, obviously, like, we had a little bit of lack of, like, you know, just kind of like that game, that other game, just not coming out with as much energy as we usually do. You know, just kind of like made it a point to come out and be aggressive and just set the tone early, and you know, just continue to do that throughout the game.
Turn out for Wednesday, you mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys are now, well, you've gotten a couple wins from the Pistons this season. Do you approach these games a little differently, knowing that they've gotten a lot of wins from you over the past couple of years, or is it just kind of like?
No, every game right now is important for us. I don't care who we play, really. Like, all these games matter to us, and you know, we wanna go out there and give everything that we got. Every single game is what, like 8-9 games left. Like, yeah, this is it.
Quelques questions en français pour finir. Tu es retourné beaucoup sur la ligne des lancers francs sur les 2-3 derniers matchs. À quoi tu attribues ça? Est-ce que c'est toi qui as changé quelque chose, plus agressif? Est-ce que c'est juste des match-up?
Non, je sais pas. J'ai pas vraiment. J'ai essayé de voir ce qui se passe, ou essayer de voir des films, essayer de voir, tu vois, mais parfois il y a des fautes et parfois il n'y en a pas. Donc c'est ce que je peux contrôler, c'est juste d'aller et d'essayer de faire la même chose, essayer d'être agressif. Et puis, ouais, s'il y a des fautes, oui, s'il n'y a pas, et puis bon, on continue.
J'avais aussi une question sur Christian, en fait j'en avais deux. Est-ce que tu as vu une évolution depuis son passage en G-League? Qu'est-ce qu'il fait de mieux?
Ah non, je pense que en tant que rookie, quand tu viens, c'est un peu compliqué. Tu viens, tu joues 5 minutes comme ici ou là. Attends, je pense qu'avoir cette expérience-là de jouer des matchs, donc c'est très important. C'est pour ça que la G-League, c'est important pour tout le monde, et en tant que, surtout pour les jeunes. Parce que tu arrives, tu as le moyen tu arrives à jouer, tu as des minutes au terrain, l'expérience et tout ça. Donc ouais, je pense que tout ça, ça l'a aidé, ça l'aide à juste venir et se concentrer sur des trucs qu'on sait qu'il peut bien faire, défendre. Et ouais, quand il fait ça, il est d'une très grande importance pour nous.
Une dernière question par rapport à l'attaque. On a vu avec l'arrivée de Paul Tull, maintenant vous avez un vrai joueur pour roll sur les pick and roll. Qu'est-ce qui manque à Christian? Qu'est-ce qu'il doit apprendre à faire pour se rendre disponible comme Yak est capable de le faire? Ouais,
ça commence avec poser des écrans, des bons écrans, et puis après ça, la vitesse pour roll, tu vois. Donc tous ces trucs-là, ça vient avec l'expérience. Jakob, ça fait 6-7 ans, il est en NBA, donc il fait ça tous les jours. Et puis pour Christian, ça va juste prendre un peu d'expérience, des matchs et tout ça, et puis bon, il va être bien.